Perfect.
Okay.
Here we go. We are recording. Well, for our audience that's going to be watching this, good morning, or good morning at the time we're recording this. I'm Solomon Dixon. I am the Act 6 coordinator at Pursue Scholars. I have the wonderful privilege to have with me today Mark Soderquist, president of the Soderquist Family Foundation, Salt of the Earth, wonderful guy. And so I just wanted him to come and talk to us today a little bit about his involvement with Pursue Scholars and the work he's been doing in his community, and a little bit about Pursue Unity and just how he's been a great support for that event that's coming up this weekend. And so what's going on, Mark? How are you doing today?
Oh, it's great, Solomon. It's great to be here. I'm actually in front of my house here on St. Louis Avenue in North Lawndale. And actually, as I'm talking, I'm just going to walk the neighborhood a little bit and show you a couple important parts of our neighborhood. This is our house here, by the way, I'm standing in front of. And then behind me is Crown Academy, which is our school, which I asked for prayer for because they're thinking of closing it. We've been on the bubble before. And then this is our church, Westlawn Gospel Chapel. It's been here good morning, how you doing? Been here for, this is our 64th year. Was planted 64 years ago by three African-American couples that moved into this neighborhood right in the middle of the white flight years. And planted Westlawn Gospel Chapel. So this is, I'm gonna start heading down at the other end of the street, but I've been involved with Pursue Scholars for at least 6, maybe 7 years. Where I first connected with them was really more from the perspective of my involvement at Taylor University. I've been on the board at Taylor University for 15 years now. I'm an alumni from Taylor. I graduated a long time. 30 years ago, my wife and I moved into the Lawndale neighborhood here on St. Louis Avenue and started working with Westlawn Gospel Chapel. And that has transformed our lives. And part of that transformation is recognizing that the Christianity we grew up with in the suburbs did not include issues like justice. And our Westlawn Gospel Chapel and our brothers and sisters there started teaching us, and we started experiencing a fuller gospel. And as I say that, I'm just walking into our community garden. Let me show you. It's maybe you can see it there. There's our fence, and it's called our Garden of Hope.
Very cool.
And we've got beds here growing all kinds of vegetables. There's our sign, Garden of Hope. So anyways, then my interest in Taylor was recognizing that Taylor had some needs, especially in the area of diversity, that we were still a majority white Christian college. And as somebody who cared about the kingdom and Taylor representing the kingdom better, felt it was really important for Taylor to work on the issue of diversity. I have had the opportunity of speaking at Taylor and Chapel a number of times with my co-pastor here, Derek Rollerson. But then when I was asked to be on the board, that became a passion of mine to work on diversity. And so my initial interest in Pursue was from the perspective of how do we help Taylor become more diverse. As I got to know about Pursue more, I also appreciated passionately the fact that part of Pursue's vision is not just helping universities become more diverse, but part of their vision is to see neighborhoods, an underserved neighborhood like our neighborhood, North Lawndale here, to give an opportunity for higher ed education for students, from a neighborhood like this, but then also to see them come back to these neighborhoods to be the next generation of leaders. And to me, that is like my whole world right there. That's what
Yeah,
we do here.
absolutely.
Our youth ministry, Westlawn Youth Network, is all about that. So a few years after that, another Taylor board member and I met with Kevin to talk about this idea of the Acts 6 scholars program, and we really got excited about that. So that's my connection and why I'm so passionate. I'm so passionate. See, Cubs hat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fourth generation Cubs fan. I'm passionate about my Cubs.
Yeah,
I'm also passionate about the city, and I'm passionate about Pursue, because I believe Pursue strategically meets a need both in our neighborhoods in the city like Chicago, and also meets a need in our Christian universities and other universities.
that's wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing that and showing us your neighborhood a little bit. I love the fact that Chicago has such an incredibly diverse geography. Unfortunately, historically, it's been very segregated, and that's led to a lot of the injustices that we've seen in our city, and that I'm sure you've experienced in working towards seeing transformed there and right there on your block. And so, thanks for that overview, and thanks for sharing your heart about your community and the connection with Pursue Scholars. Um, wow! And so,
Let me just show you one more thing. This is our
oh, there you go.
youth center
Mm-hmm.
right here
I
down
believe
at
I
the
believe
end of the
that's
street.
where we
So,
sat down
okay,
and
go
had
ahead.
our first
Sorry.
conversation. Yeah. And so I think
Yep.
the next place to go is pursue unity, and just thinking about and discussing a little bit, like hearing about this idea. You talked about pursue scholars meeting those needs in communities, in underserved communities, and seeking to just provide equity to underserved communities. And so when you heard about this crazy guy walking across the city of Chicago to make more resources available to those scholars from these communities, what was your initial thought? Yeah, what was your initial thought about Pursue Unity and this long walk? And yeah, let us know a little bit about that.
Yeah, my initial thought was, man, I want to do that with you, Solomon. I just thought it was a great idea. And I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see it, I'm wearing a t-shirt called
Yeah.
Stronger Together. And it's all the neighborhoods listed in the
Mm-hmm.
form of Chicago. And you mentioned the neighborhoods. We've got 77 different neighborhoods in the city of Chicago, and they're all incredibly unique, fascinating neighborhoods. I'm walking down to the end of our street here where St. Louis Avenue meets Cermak, and Cermak is the dividing line between North Lawndale and what used to be called South Lawndale, and now it's called Little Village. It's the main Mexican-American neighborhood in the city of Chicago. And these two communities have struggled in their relationships, an African-American community and a Latino community historically. But our church is involved with two other churches, La Villita Community Church and the Nueva Vida Community Church. And we've been doing a day camp together in the summer for 28 years now, where
Wow.
we're bringing kids together from both these two communities to experience life together during the summer. And we've got now adults, even some adults that are staff on our programs, who have lifelong friends now, who are from these two different communities. And so this idea of pursue unity is desperately needed in this city.
Yeah.
This t-shirt represents that. Stronger Together, this t-shirt kind of came out of a situation that happened during the summer that looked like these two communities were going to be going at each other.
Right.
And we had a peace march, a unity march, where people from Little Village came over to North Lawndale here, and we marched together. And it was a very powerful expression of unity. And so the idea of you walking the whole length of Western Avenue through all these different neighborhoods, and people that aren't from Chicago don't understand the neighborhood concept in the city. I didn't. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and Chicago to me was this big city. And it wasn't until we moved here in the North Lawndale that I started understanding the city as this collection of these incredible neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I drive through the city to a meeting, I pass through all these neighborhoods, and I just, like, with all the problems we have, like any major city, we can't miss the point of the fact that it's amazing that this all works.
Right.
To some degree. It's amazing to see all the little shops, see all the little restaurants. And so this idea of you walking the length of Western to represent unity, going through all those neighborhoods, you're not just walking through a city, you're walking through a collection of diverse neighborhoods representing diverse people that have origins from all over the world.
Right.
They live here right in Chicago.
Right.
And I just thought, when I first heard about it, I just thought, man, that is such a great idea. And I desperately wanted to I knew I couldn't walk the whole way with you. I'm not in shape.
You could do it.
But if we do it again, I'm going to prepare.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the whole length with you. But
absolutely.
I did want to walk a portion of it. And unfortunately, I have to be out of town, so I'm not going to be there. So that's why we're recording this ahead of time, because I absolutely wanted to speak about how excited I am about this.
Yeah.
And this scholarship program and the money that's going to be raised, what's really exciting is this isn't like a new program or a new idea.
Right.
These aren't sorry.
No problem.
You got these this is a program that has proven successful. We have alumni that are actually working at the colleges that they went to now. And then we have alumni that are back in the neighborhood. So your contribution is going to a program that is already proven successful, but it will allow the program to expand.
Yeah.
And do other things. So I could not be more excited about Pursue Unity and about Pursue and Act 6 scholars. And I've seen the difference both in the neighborhoods and at Taylor University.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I think there are just several levels of gratitude here, personally for me, towards you. One, thanks for having that conversation a few years ago about Act 6 that enabled me to come and work for Pursue in the first place. And it's been my joy to be a part of the Pursue Scholars story and the Act 6 program for the past 2 years. Secondly, gratitude again. From the beginning of this campaign, you've really helped to energize us, not just financially, but principally and emotionally, towards knowing that this could be bigger than we even thought it could be. And it's manifesting in that way. Thanks to the generous support of the Soderquist Family Foundation, we were able to reach our $50,000 goal, and then the matching grant that your family foundation provided allowed us to add another $25,000 to our $50,000 goal, bringing us to a $75,000 above and beyond sort of goal that was met. And since we're 2 or 3 days out from the event, we're going to push even harder and try to hit that $100,000 goal to give even more scholarship resources, to give even more staffing resources and leadership development resources to the very scholars that you talked about that are going to take responsibility for themselves and their neighborhoods to come back and see them transformed. And so I love the fact that God can take a little organization like Pursue Scholars and multiply it. We're just humbled. We're humbled, Mark, and we're grateful for God's grace and his faithfulness. And so, I just wanted to connect with you briefly today and say thank you and highlight some of the work you all have been doing. And God willing, we'll be able to work with one another for a long time to see even more transformation happen in this city. And that Pursue Unity will just be a drop in the bucket as to the work that we're going to accomplish together by God's grace. So, Mark, thanks so much.
Amen. And have a great walk on
Absolutely.
Saturday, Solomon. And all I'll say in my final words is that every dollar, every gift is going to something that, again, is proven to be successful. And I believe is really, really important, not just for in all three. It's kind of like a three-legged stool. It's important for the young people that are getting an opportunity they may not get through the scholarship. It's important for the universities that they go to, because these young people bring a different perspective. They bring assets. This isn't a charity program. This is actually something that's transforming the universities.
Absolutely.
And then it affects the neighborhoods. So
awesome.
Walk on, Solomon. Walk on.
Thanks, Mark. And next year you'll walk on with me. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Take care,
absolutely.
sir. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you. Bye.
Recording now.